Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
It is Gen.G against Dplus Kia and Gen.G. They're coming from the blue side with Kin on Akali, Kenyon on Sejuani, Chovy on Cassante, Pace on Varus, and Lahans on Ashe. On for DK it is King on Olaf, Lucid on Rel, Showmaker on Silas, aiming on Xayah and Kellen on Rakon. At DK they have a surprise for Pace and Lahans, and it's called Showmaker. He comes in to prevent the Varus and Ashe bot lane prior. And so it is Lahans becoming the first visitor of the fountain, and we go into the top lane after 3 minutes. It is Kingen, seeing his screen slowly but surely turning grey. The first Void Drums, they're collected by Canyon for Gen.G. The first dragon goes to DK. And after 8.5 minutes, it is Kin in return, stomped into the river by Kingen. It is now all 6 Void Drums in the pockets of Gen.G, but we take a look at Pace. He uses Flash, Cleanse, but against the crash down of Lucid and the feathers from aiming, there's just no cure. And so he's sent back to the base. The hand's now endangered until there's Chovy on the Pride of Nezuma coming in, activating his ghost and hunting down Lucid. From the mid lane it is Kenyon and Showmaker moving down. But I have to accept that aiming will find a death in the jungle as well. Chovy picks up 2 kills, and here's Showmaker surprising Pace after 11.5 minutes. The second kill for the Silas, and we go in for the second dragon. It's secured by Canyon. Chovy and Kin going into the backline, but the rest of Gen.G is cut off. So it's DK now turning to burn down Kin, and also Chovy will have no chance to escape the 1v5 massacre. Gen.G, they will secure Shelly, and here comes her scaly majesty crushing into the outer turret of DK. By the help of all these nasty void mites, Gen.G will draw first turret plot. Then both teams will trade 2 outer turrets in the bot and in the top lane. And 1.5 minutes later, it is Showmaker and Lucid diving on Kin. His health bar is disappearing, but he somehow makes it out of there alive. But here's the flash grand entrance of Kellen, who gets immediately evaporated. But down goes Kin as well. And now it's a hunt down on Lahans. King will pick up a kill. And now Gen.G is on the back foot. But Chovy finds himself in a pretty awkward position there in the enemy jungle. And so the cut off his screen is starting to leak out of it. A minute later, it is Gen.G picking up the next dragon, but in the top lane it is DK destroying the outer turret. They want to take the mid lane tier 1 as well, but Kingen, he gets flashed on by Pace, who picks up his second kill of the game, and now Gen.G, they hunt DK all the way down towards the bot lane. Chovy's going in on the back line, and here comes Lucid with a flash magnet storm. He finds Pace, Showmaker follows up, and down goes Pace. But on the bottom of the screen it is Kin and Chovy destroying the bot lane of DK. Kin makes his escape, but Chovy can't find a way out of there as Lucid and Showmaker are coming in. And now the outer turret in the mid lane goes down as well. Lucid evens out the dragon count. It is 2 for each side. We're 27 minutes into the game to see Chovy in a pretty bad spot there again in the enemy jungle against pretty much the whole team of DK. He's trying to make a run for his life. But DK, they go on a manhunt. But Chovy's not alone. Kenyon and Pace are closing in. And it's the Glacier Prison and the Chains of Corruption for a nice layered CC. The outburst of Lucid and Kingen start to disappear, but here's Showmaker with the stolen Chains of Corruption. Kellen flies in, and down goes Chovy in the end. A little bit of consolation prize for Gen.G that the outer bot lane turret is crumbling. And we're 29 minutes in to see Kellen finding Lahans. King and Lucid are closing in as well. They won't find a kill, but now they have Chovy separated. He's disconnected from his team, isolated. And down goes to Cassante again, and now DK, they turn in for the Baronessa. In the meantime, in the bot lane, their minions will tear down the inner turret. And Gen.G, they're trying somehow to get closer, to get into the pit, but they won't find an angle, and so it's the purple worm slain by aiming. And DK, they will take soul point as well after 31.5 minutes. Just half a minute later, they destroy the inner turrets in the mid and in the top lane, and now it's only the base left. In front of their hungry eyes to tear down the first inhibitor, while Chovy destroys the inner bot lane turret on the other side. We skip another 3.5 minutes to see DK burning down the next purple worm, and then in goes Showmaker on Pace. He has to go into the Sunners, but this will give his team time to close in. Gen.G again on the retreat. Chovy won't make it. Kin will find his green grayed out as well, and now DK, they turn in for the big prize. Kingen tries to run down pace. He will not make it, but here's an aiming on Xayah. Who does? He picks up a double kill in the end, and DK, they take the lead in the series. Game number 2, Gen.G again coming in from the blue side, this time with Kin on Udyr, Canyon on Maokai, Chovy on Jace, Pace on Aphelios, and Lehans on Lulu. And for DK it is Kingen on Aatrox, Lucid on Rel, Showmaker on Syndra, aiming on Lucian, and Callan on Nami. The first 3 Void Crumbs go to Gen.G, and then it is a dive onto the bot lane of Gen.G by Lucid, Callan, and aiming. In comes Showmaker as well. Pace, he pops before Showmaker reaches the scene with a Scatter the Weak. It is first blood drawn by Lucid, and Showmaker picks up a kill as well. The game stays pretty quiet for a while. The first dragon goes to Gen.G, the next 3 of Void Crumbs to them as well. They pick up the second dragon, they pick up the Herald. First turret gold goes to DK, they break the outer bot lane turret just before their top lane outer crumbles as well. And then it is Canyon steering Shelly into the tier 1 of DK. Gen.G, they're trying to break down this turret, but here comes Lucid with a Magnet Storm on 2-4, but there's just no follow-up. He gets trapped by the Nature's Grasp, knocked back by the Bramble Smash, he can flash over the wall. And now Kingen comes from the top. It's the dash Q into the W for the Q2, and down goes Canyon. And down goes this turret as well, and we're 20.5 minutes in to see the Nature's Grasp sneaking, finding Lucid on the Rel. He gets knocked back by the Maokai, and then he just gets evaporated. Gen.G, they use the dead jungle immediately to burn down the third dragon. It is soul point for them already. And then a minute later, Lehans gets eviscerated. Showmaker picks up the kill. DK, they destroy the outer turret, and in we go for potential Dragon Soul for Gen.G. DK, they go for Kin, but down range the Moonlight Vigil from base. Canyon goes in with the Nature's Cross and a twisted advance, but he will be taken out by aiming. Canyon and Kin are killed as well, but then it is Lehans. Somehow it is Lehans on the Lulu, securing the Dragon Soul for Gen.G. They lose 3. They gain the Dragon Soul, but they will also lose the Baronesha. With a mighty buff, they tear down the first inner turret on the sides of Gen.G after 2 minutes. And now they move towards the bot side, where they find Kin on an Udyr with an Iceborne Gauntlet and a Frozen Heart. He's tanky, but not tanky enough. He gets killed, and DK, they destroy the second inner turret. 1.5 minutes later, they come back to take down the first structure in the base of Gen.G. This game, and maybe the series already, will be decided around the Elder Dragon. Gen.G moving towards the Kingen, who's isolated on half HP in the bot lane. Kin keeps Showmaker away, and now they move towards what could be the game-deciding objective. They ignore the minions in their base for the moment. Aiming is moving there to apply some additional pressure onto Gen.G, while Lucid goes into the pit, trying to steal the objective, but he won't be successful. He gets taken out at aiming. He has already finished the first Nexus turret, about to take the second one as well. He succeeds, and as Pace arrives, he makes his way out of there, realizing that the rest of his team has been wiped off the map in the meantime. And now he gets spotted, goes in on Lehans with a culling, and Lehans, he's getting low, barely survives as Pace takes the kill. And now Gen.G on the counter push, destroying the last standing inner turrets on the sides of DK in return. And here's a pretty big fish in the water on top of it. They will also take the purple worm, and with it they come through the mid lane to destroy the inhib turret and the inhibitor. And a minute later, they also take the last standing turret outside of the base of DK. And after 41.5 minutes, DK is going, determined to take the series. They go for a decisive push towards the Nexus. Kingen, he's isolated in the top lane, TP's in, he's pretty low already, gets immediately put into the stasis of the GA, and now it's a 4v5 in the base of Gen.G. The Moonlight Vigil of Pace deals a good amount of damage, and Callan goes down first aiming, and Lucid about to follow into the eternal grey screen, where they are joined by Showmaker. Only Kingen lingering around, trying to go backdoor for an epic takedown of the exposed Nexus, but he will be wiped off the map as well. And so Gen.G, they tie the series.
Of a
And then we go, game number 3, DK coming in from the blue side with King on Aatrox, Lucid on Maokai, Showmaker on Azir, aiming on Varus and Kellen on Ashe. And for Gen.G it is Keen on Rumble, Kennen on Sejuani, Chovy on Tristana, Pace on Lucian and Lehans on Melio. And after 4 minutes in the top lane, it is Kingan against Kin, and the Rumble draws first blood. And just half a minute later, it is Kenyon coming in for the gank. But will it be necessary? It is Pace picking up the kill on Callan anyways. 3 minutes later, it is Lucid coming in with a flash twisted advance. Pace dodges the Maokai ult, but goes down nonetheless. The first dragon goes to Gen.G. And 10 minutes into the game, it is Showmaker walking in, and then jump scare. Here's Canyon. Chovy jumps in, picks up the kill, and Gen.G, they pick up the first 3 Void Grumps. They will also bring down the next dragon, and here's Canyon with a nice dash into the Glacial Prison. It connects to Callan, he gets eviscerated. Pace picks up the kill, his second of the game. This outer turret in the bot lane will be history soon, but on the other side of the map it is Kin against King and Lucid, and the incoming Showmaker Chovy TP's in as well. But there's little to nothing that the Tristana could do to save her top laner. Chovy has to be careful not to go down as well, just like this outer turret does. 16 minutes into the game, we go for the Herald. Canyon in a bit of trouble there on the Sejuani, dashes out. Kingan goes in, tries to follow, but then the equalizer rains down on Kingan, was flashing at the same time on the wrong side of the Fissure, and down goes the Aatrox. Gen.G now with a 2.5k gold lead, further increasing as they will tear down this outer turret, and Lucid, he's a dying tree to be chopped down. Oh, we take a look at Shelly. She's drifting, shape-shifting into the tier 2. Tears it down as well. Kingan tears down this bot lane tier 1 for DK. But Gen.G starting to feel comfortable in this one. They pick up Soul Point. They tear down the mid lane tier 1. And we're almost 21 minutes into the game to see Kingan there. Hunted by Keen and Canyon. Aiming is closing in, and also Showmaker TP's in. Canyon immediately sees the tables turning in this fight. Down goes Kin. Showmaker picks up his first kill of the game. And now, this is Lucid after 22 minutes. His health bar's melting away. Pace with a culling. Finish him off. And now Gen.G, they turn in for the Purple Worm. They will lose the outer mid lane for it, which is a trade that they will take 11 out of 10 times. And now they collect, after 24.5 minutes, the Cloud Dragon Soul. They tear down the penultimate turret outside of the base of DK. And now they turn towards the top lane. Lucid, his escape route cut off by the equalizer. Keen picks up his kill, giving him the taste of his flame spitter's heat. The last inner turret goes down, as does this inhib turret. And now, it is a tremendous gold lead of 8,000. And 2 minutes later, we see this one. Canyon dashing in, finds Lucid with his Glacial Prison. He goes in with the twisted advance. Nice knockback, but into the nothing, into no follow-up. And so Lucid just gets wiped off the map. Callan follows into the grey screen. For Kingan, things are looking more than dire on the Aatrox against Lehans. The Aatrox falls to the feet of Emilio. Showmaker sees the screen grayed out, aiming the last one to follow into the death chamber. A little bit of a fair play there between aiming and Lehans. And then Gen.G turns in to finally turn around this series and go home with a W in their pocket.